All right, today we're going to dive into a really powerful idea from our source material. It's the claim that a specific change in our diet could help us push back against two of the biggest fears we all have about getting older, losing our minds and our physical independence.
So let me just start with a direct question for you. When you really think about getting older, what's the one thing that truly scares you the most? For a whole lot of people, it really boils down to two things: the fear of our minds starting to fade and the fear of losing our physical freedom.
So first, let's talk about dementia. Look, this is so much more than just misplacing your keys. It's when your ability to think, to remember, to even make decisions declines so much that it gets in the way of just living your life. It's that terrifying fear of, well, literally losing yourself.
And the second big fear, it's losing that physical independence. Our source brings up this really potent term for this, Netakiri. It's a Japanese word, also used in Korea, that describes being completely bedridden, totally reliant on other people for your day-to-day care.
And this is so crucial. This is the insight our source really zeroes in on. The fear isn't just about the physical or mental decline itself. The real, deep-down anxiety is about the thought of becoming a burden to the people you love most. So, that all sounds pretty scary, right? The big question is, what can we actually do about it? Well, according to the material we're looking at, the answer might lie in our vascular health. Yep, the health of our blood vessels. This is presented as the absolute core connection.
The argument is basically a chain reaction, like dominoes falling. It all starts with a poor diet. That leads to the next domino, damaged blood vessels. And when that happens, it dramatically increases the risk for both dementia and becoming bedridden. So our diet is really that first domino that sets everything else in motion.
But here's the hopeful part. If diet can be the cause of the problem, well, that means it can also be the solution. So let's flip this around and look at the specific dietary shift that's being proposed in our source material. The solution on the table is a low-carb, high-fat diet. You might know it as LCHF. The basic goal here is to switch your body's main fuel source. So instead of running on glucose from carbs, your body starts running on something called ketones, which it makes from fat. It's a whole metabolic shift.
So what does that actually look like in practice? It's really just a big rebalancing act. You seriously cut back on the carbohydrates, things like bread, pasta, and sugar, and you replace them by increasing your intake of healthy fats. We're talking avocados, nuts, olive oil, all the good stuff. And why is this shift so important? Because, and this is where it all connects back, according to our source, the number one goal of this diet is to improve the health of your blood vessels. That's the very same core connection we identified earlier.
So this creates a whole new pathway, a path to prevention. The argument is, by adopting this low-carb, high-fat diet, you can improve your vascular health. And by doing that, you can lower your risk of dementia and the loss of physical independence. It's really about taking back some control over your future health.
Okay, so let's just quickly recap the key takeaways from all this. The fear of dementia and being bedridden, it's often really rooted in that deeper fear of becoming a burden. Our source identifies poor vascular health as a major driver of these problems, and it puts forward a low-carb, high-fat diet as a potentially powerful way to prevent them. We've just walked through a pretty compelling case from our source material, the idea that what you eat today could have a huge impact on your mental and physical freedom later on. So it really leaves us with one big question to ask ourselves, doesn't it? Is your diet today protecting your mind and body for tomorrow?